It's Damien from Marketing Food Online, and in this video, I'm going to cover the 10 most important questions, in my opinion, you need to ask yourself if you're going to start a food business of any kind. Every food entrepreneur should sit down and ask these 10, and we're going to cover them right now. All right, so let's hop into it. It is Damien from Marketing Food Online. I hope you are having a great day. These are actually going to be 10 questions that I believe every food entrepreneur, when you start, or if you're just in the early stages of your business, you need to ask yourself these questions to make sure that you are in line with whatever it is required of you from a legal standpoint and from a standpoint of starting and kind of having a vision for your small food business. These are great questions. These are things I've learned actually through experience over the last 12 years of being a food entrepreneur and operating multiple businesses online and even a retail bakery with my wife over a decade ago. So, by the way, if you're not a subscriber, definitely make sure you hit that subscribe button. We now have over 800 videos, and we are super excited. We just surpassed our 30,000 subscriber. I sincerely thank everybody who has subscribed to our channel. I love doing these videos, and I love helping out many of my clients. I've done over 300 phone consultations over the past 3 years, and it's been fantastic. I'm super excited to help other people get their food business and their dreams of having a food business up and running. So, Damien, let's cut to the chase. What are these 10 questions that you're dying to tell us about? So these are in no particular order of importance at all. I just want to cover these 10. I want you to kind of sit down with a pen and pad to kind of write these down, or you can just simply listen to the video, of course, as many times as you need to get them down. But these are really great questions that you need to look into to really help you, give you some direction to where it is you want to go and what it is you actually want to do. So number one, and this may sound kind of trivial, but you'd be shocked to know how many times people are not sure of this one. What are you going to make? Have you even thought about it? I have a lot of people who've asked questions, really nice and fantastic subscribers. They're just not sure of what type of food product they have. They say, well, I've got a dozen or so recipes for different products, different food items. Some of them are actually like dishes and things that I make. Some of them are baked goods. Some of them are snacks. Well, you need to find out what you want to make. Figure out one particular product, and from there, if you have 4 or 5 variations, if you can make it in a variety of different flavors, that's perfect. But figure out one particular, because when you start to make a business out of this, and you transfer yourself from being just a hobby or something you do on the side to make a couple bucks, but now you want to be a legitimate business, you want to incorporate yourself, you want to do all of that, you need to figure out what it is you're making, and can you make it well, and can you scale it? Okay, can you grow that? Is it a recipe for? Sometimes there's certain food products that are hugely challenging to scale. Okay, there's some that are super easy. You simply multiply the recipe itself. The packaging can remain the same. You can either serve it in larger quantities, lower quantities. It can be produced quick and fast. There's no baking. There's no sauteing. There's no cooking. Maybe it's something that's roasted. You kind of get the point. Can you make it, and can you make it in larger quantities? Because down the road, as your business grows, you're going to want to scale that business, and it's got to be something that's easily to be scaled, okay? Don't complicate this, because it doesn't have to be so complicated. And as your business grows, then yes, you can add more products. I would definitely recommend you do that. If you can create a line of products, that's different than just having a one single product. So figure out what you're going to make. Second, where are you going to make this? There's really only 2 ways to do it, either from home or in a commercially licensed kitchen that you may either own or that you're going to rent. It's really one or the other. It's going to be in a licensed facility that's going to be inspected, and it's not going to be cottage food related, which is home-based, or you're just going to do it from your house. So figure out where you're going to make it. Now, this is super important. Number 2, this one that I just said was actually probably the most important part, because that's going to really limit or allow you to sell a lot of or a little of your product if you do it from home, if you do it from a commercial kitchen. So one of the 2 is going to work well for you, but understand, when you make it from home, it's extremely limiting as far as where you can do it. It's mainly local, okay? It's not going to be something you can do online. You can't ship products interstate for the most part, and you want to just figure out where exactly you're going to do it. Now, the third one, the permits, the licensing, the insurance, all of that from a state, federal, and local level. Not a lot of the clients I've done consultations on, they don't realize that there's a multitude of different layers of licensing and permits that are needed. So make sure that you've got your federal, state, and local municipalities permits, licensing, and such that they may need. Now, Damien, that doesn't really tell me exactly what what kind I need. I live in Los Angeles, for instance, or I live in Chicago. Or it doesn't tell me. Well, I can't sit on this one video for 10 minutes and explain every single city and county. So I apologize. I don't want to put you to sleep. I need you to do your homework. Simply call your local municipality and ask that city or county level business licensing office, what is it I need? Then check your state's websites. Now, on the federal level, it's mainly the FIN number that you will need, which is a Federal Employer Identification Number, okay? And that way, that allows you to file your taxes, and your IRS and all of that fun stuff goes through that number, because your business will be issued that FIN number, okay? But at the local level, it varies. I necessarily cannot speak on behalf of LA or Chicago, because it'll vary as to what type of permit or license they'll need. Number 4. This is important, and it's something that's mainly focused on those starting from home, is classes and courses. Sometimes in certain states, they're going to require for home-based food businesses to have food handlers cards or food handlers permits. There's different types of ways that they actually say it, but some classes you may have to take from the state level or local level. And then some places you may have courses and such you can do online, or you may have to go somewhere to take these food handling courses. And they're mainly courses that will cover food handling, sanitation, storing food, preparing food, packaging, and labeling, all of that good stuff. So check on that, okay? And that mainly is those who are in the home. Now, if you're going into a commercial facility, there's other requirements that may be needed as well. But from my knowledge, when you're going into a commercial facility, for the most part, and some states are different, courses and classes on food handling may or may not necessarily need to be there. That's different from a restaurant. If you're preparing packaged food, and it's going to be food sales establishment, not a food service establishment, there's two variations, okay? Selling food is one thing. Food service, when you're in a restaurant, cafe, a bar, a bistro, something like that, and you're serving food on the premises, that is food service. Okay, so there's a differentiation between the two. Number 5, who's going to inspect you? And you need to create a relationship and a rapport with those people. You need to understand who they are. Is it going to be the Department of Agriculture that's going to inspect you? The health department going to inspect you? And if so, how frequent are their visits? Sometimes it's every 6 months, so it's twice a year. Sometimes it's annual, okay? Sometimes it's every quarter, which is every 3 months. Find out who it is. It's very important. Number 6, did you incorporate? This goes back to what I was kind of starting to touch on in the beginning of the video. Please do yourself a favor. And I always tell my clients when I've done consultations, like the first thing out of my mouth, incorporate yourself. Protect your business and your personal life. They have to be separated. This is not going to be a hobby anymore. You're not doing this as a side gig or a hustle. This is a business, and you need to treat it as such, and you should incorporate yourself. And now you're probably thinking, well, where do I do that? How can I do it? A whole bunch of these resources that I'm talking about in this video down below in the descriptions. I've got tons of links to websites that will help you easily get your food business insurance, incorporate yourself, and everything in between. So check out all those other resources too. That's all down below. So incorporate yourself. Number 7, food business insurance. Did I get food business insurance, and do I need it? Yes, yes, and please yes. Get food business insurance for your business. The average policy is only about $500 to $600 a year in the range, and you can normally get that broken up over to monthly payments. But it's very important from a liability perspective to have food business insurance. Don't neglect that, okay? Some places, some states, or even counties may not even require it, believe it or not, which is shocking. But food business insurance is ultra important, not just incorporating yourself as an LLC, but add on the food business insurance, okay? You need a simple basic policy. Like I said, the simple coverage covers liability and people getting allergic reactions and that type of thing. Product liability, that is all you need, okay, to start with. If you're hiring employees, of course, and you've got a payroll and there's a lot of other types of insurance. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the food business insurance. Now, number 8, this is something you need to find out from, again, your city or county. And this is, if you're going to use a commercial kitchen, can you use that as your business address since you are producing it there? But your home office is where your business office is out of, but you do not produce any food products from there. Find out specifically how your city and county handles that. Because if you're going to rent a commercial kitchen down the street, and it's all checked out and it's licensed and inspected, it's all good to go, then can that be the actual address for your business? Because that is where you're making it. Make sure you clarify that too. Okay. Number 9. So what is the food business model? What do I mean by that? Well, are you going to start a catering business? Are you simply going to make prepackaged? Are you going to produce a packaged food product? Are you going to sell products that you're going to sell online? Are you going to create an ingredient that then you're going to sell maybe to food service as a wholesale product, something that could be distributed to restaurants, cafes, and such? What is it that you're making, and how is that business model affecting the way that you're going to do your business? You got to determine that. There's a lot of different ways. Some people produce a food product, they sell it online. Maybe they sell it on Amazon, on Etsy, eBay, or their own Shopify store. They create a store on Weebly. These are places that you can create your own websites, or you can do it online. Well, if so, you need to make sure you understand your business model. If you're catering, obviously you're going to rent a commercial kitchen, produce food, bring it to an event, and you give it to a client. That's totally different. So figure out what type of business model you're going to run. Okay. Number 10, the final one, and of course, please understand, this is not the only 10. There's a lot of other questions that come around when it comes to food business, but I gave you these 10 because they're, in my opinion, super important to at least get started with. Number 10, do I need a website? Absolutely. Even if you're not an e-commerce business, okay? You need to have a website for informative purposes. You need to educate your potential customers, your clients. If you're not doing e-commerce business where you're selling through a website, having a website is going to allow you the opportunity to inform and educate your consumer or your customer. Okay, that's really critical, especially like in catering, for instance. If you start a catering business, you have a website. You could put your menus, you could put testimonials, you could put contact information, you can show them events you've done. I mean, there's a lot of information you could put about catering, right? So if you're selling locally, maybe you have a product that's in grocery stores, but you're not online yet as e-commerce, and you're doing supplements, or you're doing something like a health bar, a protein bar. You can talk about the benefits of your bar on your website. It's just, there's endless ways to leverage a website to inform your customers so they can decide to buy your product. And that doesn't mean you have to sell it online. That just means you inform them online. So number 10, do I need a website? Yes. Now, to add a little bit to that, you can make your own. You don't need to pay people thousands of dollars. There are sites, and I'll put some links down below again. You can check these websites out yourself. All of the websites I actually operate through our business, I personally have made and created all of them. And Weebly and Shopify are the two that I recommend most. I've utilized GoDaddy, HostGator. I've done Weebly and done Shopify. These e-commerce websites, these platforms are fantastic. But the two that I like the most, Shopify and Weebly, they make it simple. They have this simple drag and drop. You can create a website literally in a matter of a couple days. It's fantastic. Okay. So those are my 10 most important questions you need to ask yourself as a food entrepreneur before you dive into the world of beginning a food business. Okay. So if you have any questions about that, please do let me know down below. If, as always, this was helpful, do give me a big thumbs up. I appreciate you guys' support, and check out our other 800 videos. I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching Marketing Food Online. And if you are looking to create your own food truck, start a home-based food business under the cottage food law, franchise a food operation, start a packaged food business, private label your own food product, sell on Amazon, get your own online store, or sell food online, remember to subscribe and check out these videos for more resources. Take care.